Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. What I thought I'd just do today is I think share with you the journey that I've been on as a recruitment business owner, but also someone that's been, give you some stories before that, what I did before, my life as a recruitment business owner and the type of business that we've got now and the type of business that we teach people to run. So just for those that don't know me, my name is Justin McGuire. I have been in the working world for about 20 plus years. I say plus because there's a few extra years on that. I started my career in the marketing communications world. I worked in that for 7 years, got to the point where I was going to sort of elevate myself into an agency and stay in that marcoms world for a long time, or I was going to do something completely different. I decided to do something completely different. After a year of living in Central America, came back, fell into recruitment when I realized there weren't many recruiters that understood what the heck it was I did. When I left the comms world, I was working within the digital marketing space. So that led me to recruitment. I've lived in Dubai, I've lived in Singapore, I've lived in London. Today I'm sat in Dubai. I run a business. We've got circa 20 odd people now. We've had 40, 50 people. I'm just going to share with you the journey that I've been on, the type of recruitment business founder I am, the type of business that I have now, and the type of business that I'm trying to teach people how they can run. So we're a multi-7-figure recruitment business. My journey into recruitment was I learned from a really good established investment banking recruitment company. I set up the marketing communications division for them. They taught me how to recruit. They taught me the old-fashioned way of headhunting. They taught me how to be precise, really thorough, really detailed when it came to understanding the art of headhunting. I'm forever grateful for that. I then got offered an opportunity in Dubai, came out to a business that perhaps wasn't as slick as the one I was working for in the UK. Nonetheless, they brought me to Dubai. I got to understand what this market was like, and I then decided to set up my own boutique venture in the UAE in 2010. Now, when I set the business up because I saw there was an opportunity. At the time in the UAE, there was really only Michael Page, there was Hayes, there was a company called Charterhouse, sort of big generalist recruiters. I saw there was a gap for a niche player. There was no one in the marketing communications creative space. I jumped into that space, became one of the first niche players in the market. In doing so, I then had to find clients. Now, in those days, it was very easy because I could sell on my brand, I could sell on me, I could tell people about my experience and background in the marketing communications world, my 2 years experience in Dubai. I very much leveraged on me and why I was the right person to recruit for people. Now, looking back on it, that was a great thing to do to get brand me involved, but I perhaps didn't sell the brand as much as possible. So people, still to this day, people very much affiliate me with the brand. And one thing I would always advise founders to do is talk about the brand as much as you possibly can, because it took me a while to unpick that over the years. And still to a degree, some people, because they see my face and my name, the business is called MCG, they think I'm absolutely linked to the recruitment company, where I'm not so involved in it as I used to be anymore. So always try and sell on brand is what I would say at the beginning. I very much, first of all, created a me business, and then kind of got a team around me that I would dish out jobs to those people, and as I hired and built the team, those people would kind of be more affiliated to me, whereas what I didn't do was empower them. So I ended up having sort of built a business for 5 years, and we were doing very well, by the way. We were doing like $2-3 million in Dubai. The market was great, but it was very much linked to me as the time I built it, and I built very much a traditional recruitment business in those days. It was very much 360 recruiters owning their own markets, hiring 360 recruiters owning their own markets. What I did in doing in structuring my business that way, as well as I created a series of competitors, because what happened was I brought people over, I trained them up how to be experts in specific sectors. They stayed with us for 5-6 years, said thank you very much. They went up and set up their own little shop. And I think empowering a bunch of 360 recruiters, I really saw how that structure was, building a business of that structure, you become quite vulnerable to people leaving you and taking chunks of business with you if you build a 360 recruitment business, because you are empowering the recruiter, but you're also empowering them under your brand, and you are training your competitor. People get to know that person, and really not everyone stays. I know it's nice to think that they do, but really not everyone stays. So I kind of had a problem after 5-6 years, and we had a very loyal team at the beginning, but after 5 or 6 years, a few of them left and set up as competitors. So that was something, a big lesson that I learned from running a 360 recruitment business. The other thing I did was, when I set up the company, was, although I very much positioned me me as being the front person, and I kept a lot of the customer relationships. I was a bit slow bringing in my tools and processes behind that. We were a bit slow to the party, really looking at the, we relied on LinkedIn Recruiter. We didn't really get a great ATS in at the beginning. Whilst we had a great ops person, we didn't systemize everything as much as we do now. So there was, and our marketing, whilst it was good, we didn't have a dedicated marketeer, something that I would do differently now. So to give you an idea then, the business that I had from year 1 to year 5 was me, an ops, a finance person. I got the finance person in, it was literally my hire number 2. Ops was hire number 6. A bunch of 360 recruiters covering each and every part of the marketing communications market, and then, we grew to about 20 odd people then, which was great. But when I look back on it now, it was great from an atmospheric perspective, because a really good culture in those days, really good sort of startup environment. The Middle East market was growing rapidly. We were kind of first movers here, so there was a great buzz about the place. What then happened in 2015, 2016 was the market corrected, the market slowed. I then realized and got a real sort of good image of where the weaknesses were within the business. I could see that there was a few people paying for many people, had some really good billers who were paying for some very average billers. We had some people that were clearly on the 360 model, very good at placing candidates, but very rubbish at doing business development, and actually had been quite reliant on me spoon feeding them. If we'd have analyzed the business when things were really good, we could have probably seen that, but because things were good, you kind of brushed it under the carpet. You got on, you kept doing the same thing over and over again. I think once your business hits a bit of a brick wall and hits some problems, you then really microscopically analyze where your problems are. That was a bit too late, so I didn't have great business developers. So there was quite a few vulnerabilities in the company that I saw at that time that the market changed in 2016. We opened up in Asia in that time. We opened up a business, again a 360 business. We had a great person that launched that business, and I was very lucky as the market sort of stagnated in the Middle East due to oil price crash. I was able to move some people over to Asia and give them jobs in Hong Kong and then eventually in Singapore. But we had, by the time COVID had come about, we had very much a 360 business in 3 different locations, and hadn't really adapted or changed the model to what we have now. So when COVID happened, like many companies, we were a bit worried that we were going to get blown away. We were worried that we were going to lose a big chunk of our business. So we gave a lot of people the flexibility to work from home, as everyone else did. We gave people the flexibility to work hybrid. We gave people the flexibility to work on a low base, high commission structure. We threw a lot more flexibility into the business, and a lot of people took that. And what else happened was, while some people, because we had quite a few expats in the likes of Hong Kong and Singapore and Dubai who wanted to go back to the UK. I think COVID had been a time where they realised they missed their family. They were worried they might not. They were worried that they might get cut off. They were worried. They made them think about whether or not they wanted to be an expat anymore. So we had a few people that sort of wanted to go back home. Home for most people was the UK. So rather than rehiring people in the markets where we had licenses, we decided to do something a little bit different then. We decided experimenting with, and we did this first of all in Singapore, because it's very hard to hire in Singapore. It's very expensive to hire in Singapore. So what we did first of all was we hired offshore into Philippines that serviced Singapore, which proved to be a revelation. And we built a team that served Singapore from Philippines. We had 1 or 2 people in Singapore, the rest was serviced offshore. We then adopted that model into Dubai. So we decided to, rather the people that left Dubai, we decided to replace them with offshore teams that we actually put into Philippines and Sri Lanka. And I then moved from Singapore over to Dubai. And then what I decided to do after 2022, which was a tremendous year for our business, really, really good. I just felt we still had this business that could be a lot more effective. It was still very much 360 traditional recruitment model led. I decided to do something quite radical. I decided to go and get a mentor. I decided to learn how to turn our business into a layered business. I decided that I was going to get people into our business as pure play specialists. That was client managers, business developers, delivery specialists, marketeers and ops specialists. Have very clear divisions and functions in our business, and I was going to remove the whole 360 layer. I gave some of the 360s that we had the option to stay. Some did, some didn't. When they left, I didn't replace them. And as it stands today, what we have with 20 people is we do the same billings that we did with 50 people. Okay, now we're a lot more efficient, therefore we're a lot more effective, and we're a lot more profitable. And it's a lot, and what you actually get people to do is button down and focus on their specializations. Then we have a consistent client acquisition team with our marketing function. We have a consistent client team that's out meeting customers all the time with our client development team. We have a consistent BD function that's always looking out there trying to get terms of business signed, that's feeding into our team. We have an ops team that makes sure finance, that makes sure invoicing, that makes sure follow-ups and everything like that is operating completely smoothly. And we have an offshore delivery team in in Sri Lanka and Philippines that are making sure that we've got the right candidates going out to the right jobs at any given time, and they're constantly firing out CVs. So we've been working on this model now ever since I implemented it properly in early 2023 for some time, and it is proving to work. We are seeing our Dubai business doing like $250,000 with like 3 or 4 client-facing recruiters, the rest coming from the team. This is the same numbers that I used to get for like 2360 recruiters. So it's working. The machine, customers, the reality is your customers want good people as quickly as possible. Our system gets them good people as quickly as possible. They've got a client manager, and the machinery we've got behind them works efficiently, works effectively. We've got a candidate sourcing machine that runs through our LinkedIn automated campaigns, that runs through our marketing initiatives, that runs through our email campaigns. We're constantly outsourcing people. We've got an influx of the right candidates coming in at any given time. Our client-facing machine, we've got events going on quarterly, we've got webinars going on monthly, we've got content going out, a tremendous amount of content going out every single day from our social channels. We've got email campaigns running. We are constantly in people's faces, and as a result, we've got good retention of the existing customers that we've got from our heritage, our history, the way we've looked after them, and we've got a flow of new people coming in. So much so that I've taken this model to Saudi Arabia, where we're going to have 2 people there and the rest of the machines plugging into that. So we've got a centralized function of marketing, operations, candidate delivery that feed into the teams where we've got licenses. They are then the shop front. They then deal with those customers. It comes back through, and our marketing, BD function and delivery takes care of everything else. So we've got the shop front, we've got the product, and it runs smoothly. And this is what I teach in the program. I teach you how to scale a business that's going to give you less hassle. I teach you how to scale a business that's going to give you more money. So these are the lessons that I've learned. I'm not one of these fake gurus. These are the lessons I've learned through blood, sweat and tears over 14 years of running a company. I've had the big traditional business, and I've had the efficient boutique. I'll take the efficient boutique any day over the big 360 clunky business. I've got fewer people, I've got less hassle, I've got the flexibility to open up into new markets with a really agile model. I believe this is the future. I believe this is the way you can scale a recruitment business. Don't become obsessed with headcount. Become obsessed with making your life easier. Become obsessed with getting more money. Become obsessed with building a machine that, look, if someone wants to buy it, you've got an asset there that operates and works without you, that's slick, that's nimble, and that's effective. If you've got a big clunky business that's relying on lots of 360 recruiters with a figurehead who's very much involved, you're not going to have a saleable asset. If you can run something lean, you're going to give you a nice cash flow, you're going to give yourself a nice life, you're going to give yourself cash at the end of it, and you're probably going to get something that might be quite an interesting asset at the end of it as well. So there you go. That's the sort of a snapshot of the lessons I've learned. I hope you found this interesting. If you've got any questions, then fire them over to me. I'm available on LinkedIn, or just pop a question in the messages. If you'd like to hear more about what we're doing over here at MCG Talent and the stuff I'm teaching in the course, then please drop a message as well. We would love to hear from you. We've got spots filling up now. The course is becoming ever more popular. I think people are really buying into the offshore model. People really interested in how much they can automate as much as possible, and people mostly just want to make as much money as possible, and that is what we teach.